So let's see, we could get it for Leone, I think. Yeah, so Casper, Leone, Ferdinand. This is Hanuman. It's not worth giving it back to him because Hanuman will be very easy to recruit without support. Same for Catherine, so it's actually better if we keep those two.
You'd best keep your distance. In this nervous state, I might just cut you down. Oh, come on, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, so we could technically try to recruit Catherine right now. If you are playing as the Black Eagles, or the, if you're playing as the Black Eagles, you won't be able to recruit her yet. Golden Deer and Blue Lions can try to recruit her, but you have to be level 15. Byleth has to be level 15, and we are nowhere near yet, so we're not going to try. So since we only need one person motivated, I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend 3 points on instruction.
Might you have come looking for me because you were worried about my safety? I'm quite all right, but your concern means a great deal.
And I would love to get faculty training with Rhea for brawling, because it would further the support with her, and it would also get me closer to brawling for recruiting Casper. The problem is I have to be really careful about whom I pick training with at this point, because I have so few exploration points available at this moment. And we really need to focus on getting her into flying rank and getting her lance rank up so she can actually get into Pegasus Knight. So that's going to be our main focus, and also heavy armor, because we need a lot of heavy armor. We're actually done with flying, I'm seeing, so we're going to do 2 times heavy armor, I think, and 1 time lance.
Unbelievable. What a terrifying story. However, an assassination attempt on Lady Rhea is doomed to fail. Pardon? You think the goal may be different than simple assassination? Intriguing. I suppose the priceless objects in this room could perhaps draw thieves. However, there's no one but me who could make use of them.
Alright, so like I said, we actually have a lost item for him, but we're not going to use it. This is a lost item, wellness herbs, for an adult with a taste for liquor. This is Manuela, the local drunk. We'll also be able to recruit her for free in level 8, in chapter 8, so we're not going to give the item back to her yet. It's best to keep it until you actually have her in your list, so that you can motivate her for free. This just gives us an extra boost.
That boy who assists the Archbishop, Cyril, I believe? I hear he's originally from a foreign land to the east called Almyra. I know he's still only a child, but I do wonder about his true intentions.
Stop being so racist. Cyril is one of the nicest people in the game. Bad monk. Bad. Basics of greenhouse gardening, blah blah. That also gives us extra professor experience. And I think we did the register of nobles for everybody, if I remember correctly. I'm actually gonna have to double check which books we already went through and which we didn't, because I was hoping to do 1 book per stream. I kind of lost track on which ones we've already looked at.
There are numerous books in this library that you cannot find anywhere else. But once you are here, you can read them easily enough. I doubt someone would go to the trouble of stealing one. Sometimes Seteth will dispose of books that are deemed inappropriate for the monastery, but that's about it. In a way, I suppose that makes those particular volumes more valuable, right?
I doubt people are coming here to steal books, but okay. Let's see, I don't think we have anything or anybody. No, we do actually have somebody on the other side. Okay. Let's go.
Really? Hey, did you hear? A knight wielding a scythe is roaming around town at night. If he's a villain, I'd like to get the measure of him.
So I think we're going to keep the item for Leonie, because Leonie is actually going to be very easy to recruit. She requires strength and a C in lances. And since I am going to go into Pegasus Knight, I will have to get a C in lances anyway. Who is behind the assassination plot? Well, we are trying to find out. And we will find out eventually. For now, we need to go back down here.
Professor!
Fighting to stop a murdering is my specialness. No, my specialty. I will show my best work.
If you are playing as a Black Eagle, Petra will also tell you here that back in her home country, several people have tried to assassinate her because she's heir to the throne. So she knows firsthand what assassinations are like.
No classes on a festival day. I thought I'd get to spend all day relaxing in the company of some lovely ladies. But now this mess has happened. Hey, Professor, I know there's talk of an assassination attempt, but do you really think they'll do it on the day of the Rite of Rebirth? I feel like security would be looser some other time. Is there some reason why it has to happen on that day?
Did you know that on the last day of the rite, the monastery is open to the general public? It's kind of fun. It makes the place feel like a festival.
And Hilda is giving us the answer right here. Like, Sylvain is like, why does it have to happen on that day? Because it's open to the public. I fear Lady Rhea's life is in danger. Lady Rhea will be fine. Like, she's been around for 1,000 years. She's going to be okay.
That reminds me. Professor. Hey, you.
Speaking of, can you imagine the Archbishop being murdered? I prefer not to consider such a gruesome scenario. Awfully calm, aren't you? I wonder what it takes to rile you up.
I'm sure you do wonder, Hubert, and I hope you never find out.
That reminds me. People seem to think that all the Knights of Seiros are equal, but that isn't quite so. There are many distinguishing ranks within the Order. For example, there are squires who are training to become knights, as well as full knights, like myself. Oh, and then we have the Holy Knights, such as Catherine. Those are the knights that can wield a hero's relic.
Makes sense. It's like a normal army. You have recruits, you have fully fledged soldiers, you have ranks within the soldiers, and then you have... I guess Catherine would be the equivalent of a spec ops soldier. Any items here? Nope.
Possible.
I have a thought. Have you visited the Goddess Tower? It's a sacred place used for rituals and the like. In general, students aren't allowed entry. But as you'd expect, that rule just excites their curiosity. Some have even tried sneaking in. Well, at least for this month, that kind of behavior is totally unthinkable. We have a lot more security, what with the Goddess's Rite of Rebirth coming up.
Alright. Nothing over here. Okay. So... let's see. I need to get heavy armor to a D+ if I want to recruit Ferdinand and Raphael. Raphael I could technically get a bit easier if I put him into B support, but I need the D+ for Ferdinand anyway because his B support is locked until after the time skip. So yeah, we're gonna need heavy armor training, and there are only a few people who can actually teach us heavy armor, so we're going to save here. And we're gonna try to get a...
In general, but, well, we have a...
We're gonna try to get a great training result from Alois. Nope. So this is where we have to save scum a little bit. If we want to actually be able to recruit everybody and recruit them in a timely manner, we really have to save scum a bit so we can get those weapon ranks up. Especially for heavy armor, riding and flying, which you cannot learn until you get to D rank. You cannot actually get into classes that boost these ranks until you get to D. So you really need to level up a little bit for them before you even go into battle.
Well, we have a lot.
Let's try that again. I'm gonna give it something like 5 tries. And if we don't get it by then we just move on with a good result, because we need 2 great results and 2 good results. So we're gonna try to get the great results out of the way so that the next 2 times we only need good results. Let's keep going.
I have a thought. Have you in but well, we have a
3rd attempt. Okay. 2 more times. And if it doesn't work, then we move on, because this monastery run is going to take long enough, and we still want to manage to get to the final mission for this month, which is going to be the one where we fight the Death Knight for the first time. So that's going to be interesting. It's gonna be an absolute shit show. Because I think he's level 12 or something like that, and we are level 7, so that's gonna be fun.
have you in well, we have a
There we go. Thank you, Alois.
The glory of progress.
Doo-doo. Alright, 2 notes. Let's save so we can get as much support out of this as possible. I am an only child. Because of this, I'm worried that my parents will have to adopt a child or do their best to have another of their own if I don't carry on the family title. This is Linhard. And I think we're going with relax. You can think it over before you graduate. Perfect. I've always despised the heat, even as a child. Still, one must be prepared to fight anywhere, no matter the conditions. Have you any advice for enduring the heat? This is Dimitri. Look for clothing and armor that breathe better. This makes sense because he grew up in one of the coldest places in all of Fodlan, so...
About 20 or so years ago, there was a big fire in Garreg Mach. On that day, Captain Geralt went missing. Everyone thought he was dead. It never occurred to me that he might actually have survived. The truly strange part is that in all those years, he hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that. And we'll learn more about that fire as well. Why it happened, what happened, and what Gerald's involvement in it was. We're not going to do the choir because it's not really worth it.
Here's a thought. With the whole monastery preparing for the goddess's rite of rebirth this month, it feels like everyone's a little on edge.
I don't think we can recruit him yet. He wants authority and I think dex. Let me double check. What do you need, Ignatz? I've got like a document where I've got everything written down. He wants dexterity 10 plus and authority rank B, so we do actually have the dexterity. Let me have a look at... Do we have support level B with him, or C? That's a good question. So he wants B, authority rank B, which means... No, we're not there yet. We are definitely not there yet. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait a bit with Ignatz.
May I say? I can't stop thinking about Lenato. I'm sorry, Professor. I know this isn't the time, but I just can't get past it.
Those NPCs in the background. Oh, I love the pathing issues with the NPCs in this game.
Thank you. No matter what happens, I promise you I'll do my part. I checked on my brother and sister, who were living in Castle Gaspar. Thankfully, they're all right. I was worried because they're both so young, but the church in the castle town offered to take them in. That much, at least, is a big relief.
Aww. I do feel sorry for Ash because he has been through a lot.
Professor, I am afraid I have acted a bit childishly toward my brother recently. Given the circumstances, I requested that he provide me with some candies. Silly of me, really. The timing was improper, and I regret it very much now. Oh, but more importantly, this place is off limits, Professor. It is only open to the public on the day of the goddess's rite of rebirth.
Yep, I'm aware.
Here's an idea. On the day of the rite, the monastery will be open to the public, including the Holy Mausoleum. The Holy Mausoleum is where the tomb of the divine Saros lies. There she slumbers, eternally. That's pretty much all that's in there. Just an ancient coffin. It's sealed with a powerful magic to protect against would-be grave robbers.
Yeah, so definitely this place. The notebook with the cheesy jokes and bad puns, that belongs to Alois, although it could also belong to me because I love a bad pun. As many a person will be able to attest who knows me. But yeah, that's Alois. Same thing as Catherine, Hanneman, and Manuela. We're not going to use that item until we have actually recruited him. Because for Alois, we don't need support points. I'm not planning to pair him up with anybody. I can recruit him for free in Chapter 11. So there's no point in using the lost items yet. It's much better to keep them until he's actually part of us, part of our team. You can't trust people from Dusker. You can actually. They were falsely accused of regicide. Of course, nobody knows that. That is the entire tragedy. Everybody assumes that it was the people of Dusker who betrayed the people of Fargus and murdered their king. And we learned that that's actually not the case.
The goddess's home is in the sky. She lives on a bright and shining star. But in the spring, you can't see that star. That means she can't protect Fodlan. That's why we all celebrate the day when her star returns to the sky. That's the day of the rite of rebirth. See? See? I've been studying. I know just about everything.
Now, here's the thing that trips me up. Fodlan is basically kind of it's a bit based on Europe. I'm not even sure if we can access a map of Fodlan right now. But if you were to look at the map of Fodlan, north is where it's cold. So it's gotta be on the northern hemisphere. On the northern hemisphere, Sirius is not visible during the summer. And the star that Saros is Sophis is supposed to come from is Sirius. So the game is basically treating the star as if we were on the southern hemisphere, but the entire in-game world is shaped as if it's on the northern hemisphere. And it's really tripping me up. It's just one of those random things I noticed when I was stargazing myself one of the other nights, and I was like, oh hey, it's winter, I can finally see Sirius again. And I'm like, wait. In that case, why are they talking about Sirius returning to the sky in summer in Three Houses? Like, just one of those little details that once I notice it, I can't unnotice it, unfortunately.
The monastery holds many treasures. Maybe the enemy is after one of those? Even so, the idea of stealing from a church is just horrible.
Yep, agreeing with you there, Mercedes.
Professor? Oh, hey, Professor. I was just reading this letter from my father. Do you know him? He's a pretty big deal in the Empire. He only writes to ask how my training's going, or how many monsters I've killed, stuff like that.
I've just noticed that we need to do the tournament, which means we're gonna have to spend one instruction point on tournaments. Oops. So we're gonna have to ignore some other instruction points. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. Anyway, let's take the quest.
I got a favor to ask.
Yes. And this one might actually be a bit tricky this time. This belongs to Lawrence. This one might actually be a bit tricky this time because I'm not training Felix in swords. Normally Felix would be our fighter for this, but we're not training him in swords this time.
Do you know what this room is? It is the church's treasure vault. I say treasure, but I do not mean silver and gold and jewels. It mostly contains weapons, artifacts, and the like. Anything that would cause too great a stir, should it be stolen? No. The church knows better than to store anything too valuable in such an accessible location.
Alright.
Professor?
Let's see. If the enemy's aim lies elsewhere, we had better discern their true intent quickly. As I see it, our best option is to explore every inch of the monastery. We should also speak to everyone here. Let's plan to compare notes once you've got a lead.
I'm very sorry. Like I said, I had 2 16-hour days this week, so a bit tired.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, let's accept that. We've already been talking to like more than half the people that we need to talk to.
I hear you have fought alongside Catherine. I would wager that her power exceeded your expectations. Had you the chance to witness her relic? Thunderbrand, glowing red. That glow is a sure sign that her blood contains a crest that harmonizes with that hero's relic.
So that little bit of backstory is actually important. This is the deuce. Because, yeah, the fact that only people with the right crest can make the weapon glow red, that's gonna come into play at the end of this month. The treasure vault is pretty suspicious. No, it is not. Shut up. Random NPC dude.
Right. I've been in town procuring some supplies for Flame. No, but do not concern yourself for my safety. I am very much stronger than I appear.
Boy, is he. Once you actually know who he is, it makes sense.
I have something to ask of you.
Alright, so this quest is limited to this month because it is related to the main quest of next month. So if you don't do it now, you will not be able to do it at all. Band of Thieves has been raiding villages in the north of Fargus. Yeah, we're gonna meet those thieves next chapter. Alright, somebody just pinged me, so let me just have a quick look to see what this is. Alright. We don't want faculty training with Sedef right now. We're gonna try to get the faculty training out of the way that is actually for skills that we cannot train in battle. Although we do also need to train Lance at some point because I don't think we will get enough Lance points just through battle. And hello, my guardian.
Have you heard of the War of the Eagle and Lion? It was the battle that won the kingdom its independence from the Empire. Even the Church of Seros had no choice but to recognize the courage of Lug, the King of Lions who emerged victorious. The Church awarded him a crown and the right to govern the Fargus region, backing him in his bid to found the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. In return, Lug agreed to make the Church of Seros the religion of his territory, and permitted them to publicly proselytize across the kingdom. In the 400 years since, the Church and the kingdom have continued to maintain very close relations.
Okay. Let me find the next NPC to talk to, and then I actually have to deal with something that just popped up on Discord. So just give me a moment, guys. The secret ledger belongs to Anna. That's an Alfever. Although if we instruct Anna, then we do have our 4 people motivated for the lecture, so then we don't actually need to have dinner with anyone today. So that might be useful. Because as I said, the event for this day is the Head Chef Challenge, which is pretty damn useless. So we're not gonna do it. Let me just find the next person I need to talk to. Hello. Oh, Ferdinand. There we go.
Setting fire to the stables to distract everyone, to cause a commotion. It is the oldest trick in the book, but I cannot shake the thought that our enemies may attempt it. I will stand guard and watch over the stable, and the knight's horses. They are truly magnificent.
Okay, so first of all, let's see the quest.
Please, do me a favor.
Oh yeah, I always accidentally buy 2 of the same tea set. Totally relatable mistake, Ferdinand. I've done that myself. Yeah. So this will unlock tea time for us. So we're going to take this, and also we're going to give him back his bag of tea leaves so we can get more support with him.
Oh, I was looking for this. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Billy Camus, I did not want to cut you off there. This belongs to Marianne.
I've heard talk of students wandering the monastery late at night. They wouldn't happen to be from your class, would they? Please keep your students in line, Professor. Kids these days.
She's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
So, greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. The goddess's rite of rebirth is this month, right? The monastery gates will be thrown wide open on that day. I'll be working as a guide. I hope I get to guide some lovely ladies around.
You can get in line behind Sylvain, seriously.
Professor, while the investigation is important, don't forget to make time for your training. If we have to battle and cannot win, all will be lost. We don't know who our enemy is, so we must be prepared for anything.
What do you mean training? I'm gonna spend most of my time having meals. I'm sorry, Ingrid. Alright, let's see. Moving on.
What?
Flower seeds, okay. Do we actually need to replenish battalions? Yes, we do. As usual, we will unmark Dimitri, so he can have his battalion reduced a little bit more.
Farewell.
Hey! Good deal. Hey, Professor. How's it going? Making lots of coin? I'd love to catch up, but I'm super busy right now. Working. For money. You understand.
Alright.
Hey!
So as said, this quest is a recurring quest that we will get over and over and over and over and over again. We just have to battle to find those valuable trade secrets. Hilariously, they can sometimes even drop from monster enemies. And you're like, what was this giant bird doing with a valuable trade secret? What valuable trade secrets does a giant bird have? I don't know. I don't care. As long as we get a stat booster, I'll take it. And we're going to give her back her secret ledger, so she will get 2 motivation bars, and she will have full motivation for the instructions.
Thanks for finding this. I honestly never thought I'd see it again.
Yeah, Malgarian, you can work for money, right?
Oh.
Never knew that. Okay, used bottle of perfume. This belongs to Hilda. Not to be mistaken for the unused bottle of perfume, which belongs to Lysithea.